welcome to another episode of the Spotlight Sessions. My name's Ilan Fisher, I'm the host, and I'm really excited today to be having a conversation with Megan Henry. She's the Director of Training and Self-Determination of Momentum, and Jonna, who's an artist of Momentum. How's it going, both of
Very
you?
good, thank you.
Fine, thank you. Nice to meet you,
Um,
Ilan.
It's nice to meet you both, and we're really proud, supporters of Momentum here at accessiBe. So I want to really just get this interview going by asking a little bit about yourself and your roles, a little bit about your personal backgrounds.
Sure. Jonna, do you want to go first?
Hi, my name is Jonna. I'm an artist at Momentum. I've been involved with them for the past 5 years as an adult, but as a child, I used to be involved with them quite a bit when they were United Cerebral Palsy. And I'm a mother. I have twins, a boy and a girl. And I enjoy doing art and enjoy the positive message that Momentum has to offer.
My name is
Amazing. Thank you, Jonna.
My name is Megan, and I have been with Momentum for almost 10 years now. And like Jonna was saying, it's just a very positive environment to be working in, and just an incredible place to connect with people. And something that I have just really become passionate about in my connection to all the work that Momentum is doing. And so I'm just grateful and excited to be working for this company.
Amazing. First of all, both of you, thank you so much for being here. And Megan, I want to drill down a little bit on what is specifically the work that Momentum is doing. Like, how would you describe what that looks like?
Yeah, I want to start with just the Momentum's vision, which is inclusion, access, and opportunity for all. And I know that's kind of a broad brushstroke, but it really encapsulates what we're doing day to day. And we provide services from childhood all the way up to adulthood, therapy, residential, day program services, community integration. And so all of these things collectively are really services and supports for people to explore how they individually and independently want to connect with the community that they want. And so, Jonna is an artist, and we have an incredible arts program that allows people to explore what that looks like for them. And so day to day, we have simple supports all the way up to really creative, incredible supports. And so that is what Momentum is doing in this community.
Amazing. And Jonna, as an artist in the Momentum Creative Division, what does the program look like? What does your kind of day-to-day look like? How do you really take your artistic talents and put them out to the world?
Well, as an artist, I think that Momentum is very accommodating in providing me with a space to work in a studio, to work in enough materials. I work with multimedia, so whether it be photography, or acrylic painting, watercolor painting. I've even done some 3D work. So yeah, it's a good environment to work in.
Amazing. And I also wanted to ask specifically also about your disability and being a person with cerebral palsy. How can people make you feel more included within the community, within the wider community as well?
Well, I mean, I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy at birth or shortly after birth, and I would want people to know that we are just the same as just intelligent and just as artistic as anybody else. I mean, set aside our disability, and our artwork doesn't reflect. It doesn't necessarily reflect our ability or not ability. It's just like anybody else.
I love that, and that's really such an important message. Jonna, do you also have a particular, piece of art or achievement that you're really proud of or pleased with as well?
There is a piece of artwork that I enjoy a lot, and I consider that my masterpiece. It's not with me right now; it's at the studio. Um, but it's a picture of a turtle, and I really like that underwater environment
Amazing.
and everything.
And what are some of the other projects that you have coming up, in the pipeline?
I have a project that I'm doing where it involves let's see, stitchery, and I'm doing it for another client at another artist at United Cerebral Palsy. She's doing one for me, and I'm doing one for her.
That's amazing. So, Jonna, we've heard a little bit about kind of your work and your kind of artistic process that you're going through. Megan, I'd love to know, like, on a more macro level, what does the day-to-day look like at Momentum, specifically, in the training department?
Yeah, so this year we're really embracing our purpose statement, which is empowering potential through innovation. And that is kind of, the way that we look at what Momentum is doing presently. And, we want to get to the inclusion, access, and opportunity for all in the future. And so we really see this year as embracing that purpose in the way that we approach training and ensuring that our staff really understand what that means. And whether it's, empowering people in the simplest of things, whether it's, getting up in the morning, putting on a shirt, having breakfast, that the path that we're taking is to give everyone the independence that they want in all of those things, in all aspects of their life. And then it trickles into Momentum Creative as well, like Jonna was talking about. And, we really have this incredible team that, uses 3D printing to create adaptive tools for each artist. And that is so amazing because what it does is it gives independence to each artist to create their own art. Whereas in some other art programs, it's hand over hand. And so each artist isn't really getting that independence in what they're creating. But at Momentum Creative, they have the opportunity to explore that independence because those tools have been handcrafted specifically for them. And then beyond that, they also have the opportunity to have their art sold online, their original pieces on our Momentum Creative website. And so I think for us day to day, it can look a lot of different ways in the different programs that we have. But at the end of the day, it's kind of the same mission that we are working towards, which is ensuring that people have independence in their own lives and can explore whatever that looks like for them.
Amazing answer. And I think you mentioned, like, and the last sentence you said was exploring independence of everybody's own lives. And this is a question that I wanted to ask to both Jonna and Megan, is really what accessibility means to you. So I'll start off with Jonna by really asking, what does accessibility mean to you? And I know that's a very broad question.
Accessibility means the ease of flowing through the community, where it be creating accessible elevators or bathrooms, or anything that anybody could do to make it easier for a person like me that has cerebral palsy, or anybody that has any kind of physical disability. If people could make it easier for us to kind of get around and kind of block down those barriers, that's what it means to me.
Thank you. And Megan, what does accessibility mean to you?
Yeah, working for Momentum, I think it has really expanded my understanding of what accessibility is. And I think from the outside, a lot of people think accessibility is having an accessible bathroom or accessible parking. And that is good and it's helpful, but it's not the be all end all for every single person. And I think when you begin to dig deeper into what accessibility really is, it's this understanding that there's these nuances and differences to each individual person's disability, and that's okay. But it means that we have to work even harder to have a world where everyone can comfortably get around, like Jonna was saying, and can navigate technology and can, go to a restroom and be able to utilize it because it has all of the resources available for someone, no matter what their disability. And so I think it's having that open mind and realizing that disability doesn't look just one particular way. And to be accessible, you have to be open and understanding, and really seeking to build a world that embraces each person in it.
I love that answer, and I think thinking broadly and thinking with an open mind is advice that I often hear when speaking with a lot of organizations. So really that kind of feeds into my next question, which is what would be your messages to the business community on how they can better integrate accessibility into their practices?
Jonna, do you want to go first?
Well, I would say to businesses who would like to integrate our individuals, to having them on the team would be to kind of look beyond our disability and look at our potential, and actually see us as people, not as our disability first. And that's a message that I know is a long-term message, and I've heard that other places before. I just would like to see that more in the business world.
And it continues to be such an important message. The first "We Are All People." I think it was I saw a massive campaign. I think it was the Turnstone Center that made that campaign, and it was a very impactful video for me to watch. And Megan, I'd like to hear your thoughts on really how the business community can better strive towards more accessibility.
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to mind is just respecting people as people. I think sometimes there is a mentality of charity or goodwill that comes in with connecting with people with disabilities. And I think for a lot of people that I have talked to, it's about being respected as adults. It's about being respected as people coming into a business, if they are using services from that business. But then also, as Jonna was saying, to embrace the potential of each person to work in those businesses. And there's so much good that comes from having just a broad and diverse group of people that you're working with. And it can only improve the output of what your business can do if you're embracing the viewpoint and perspective of the world that we're living in right now. And what you might see as an inconvenience for a time because they're providing accommodation for someone is so minimal to the benefit that will come from including people within your business in that way.
And the way I think of it as well is it's like your table has 1/5 empty. There's so many people who have disabilities and such an integral part of society, and by not including such a large population of people, you're really missing out on really important voices can really take progress further. And really one of the last questions I wanted to ask both of you is, it's National Disability Month right now. How can people be better allies, better advocates? I know myself am on a journey to, be a better ally, be a better advocate. But to the listeners out there, what would be your advice to them? Jonna, do you want to start?
Well, my advice to people to be a better advocate is to kind of get more education about the person that you're advocating for, whether that can be learning more about their disability and actually talking to them and seeing what they want to have happen, and not just speaking for them, but asking them questions. And because we do have minds and we can think and we can communicate, whether it be verbal or nonverbal. We are intelligent.
Wow, very powerful.
Yeah,
No, Megan, I was saying that was really very powerful, and I'd love to hear what your advice is for people to become better allies and advocates.
Yeah, I think I just have to go for what both of you have said. And Elon, you said it was a journey for you. And I think that really has to be the approach that people take as they, are wanting to become better allies and advocates. And I know for myself, I think it's understanding that I have to approach it with humility, and I'm going to make mistakes and I have to learn from them. And I think it's constant change and it's learning. And like Jonna said, it's learning about the community as a whole, but also really investing in building relationships with people, understanding them as individuals, and understanding that, the support that you provide is not any benefit to yourself. It's not to pat yourself on the back, but it really is to, put people with disabilities at the forefront of this conversation. And something that comes up a lot in this conversation is kind of that statement that came out of, I think it's like the early 90s and 2000s with the passing of the ADA, is nothing about us without us. And I think, sometimes it's really easy to be, an ally and advocate and talk about these things. But really, we have to step back and let, do what we can to support the disability rights community and support people who are in the disability community, but understand that they are at the forefront. It's their voices. And, like Jonna said, they are, intelligent, passionate, independent people who want to be respected for who they are. And that's where we need to get to.
You took the words out of my mouth when you were saying that. That was exactly the same phrase that I was thinking of, and something that's going to carry me through this journey. Megan and Jonna, first of all just wanted to thank you so much for taking your time and giving such really poignant answers to a conversation that this is just the start of. People are still learning, people are learning every day, and again, being on the Spotlight sessions is again going to give people that additional avenue to learn. And the last thing I just want to ask is, people want to get involved in Momentum, people want to get involved, Jonna, in buying your art. Where can they find you?
People can find my art on the Momentum website, and also there are a few art shows. I'm not sure how many there are during the pandemic, but we have an art studio on Washington Boulevard in Culver City. But I think the best avenue to for somebody like you so far away would be on our website, momentumcreative.org or com or whatever. I don't even know.
Amazing. And Megan, if people wanted to get involved with Momentum as a whole as well, where else can they find you?
So our website is momentum4 all.org, and so that provides additional information about the other programs that we have available outside of Momentum Creative as well.
Amazing. Again, I wanted to thank both of you really for giving up your time and being able to, be that additional voice to educate. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we're really proud to be on the journey with Momentum. And until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.